Welcome back. Now, after a sweet performance like that on a Monday, what we need next is some motivation. Yes, indeed. Okay, Aizehi Itua is in the building. He is a seasoned brand and marketing professional. He's got a proven track record, and when it comes to launching and rebranding prominent brands globally, he is one of the people to speak to. He's the founder of iMoney Creative Agency and has accumulated extensive experience in the creative, marketing, and manufacturing space. Today, we're here to talk about building a strong personal brand for career success. It's great to have you here.
Thank you very much, Titi.
All right.
Lovely to be here.
Aizehi Itua, right?
Yeah.
I got the pronunciation right.
A plus.
Fantastic.
That's weird, though.
Really?
Yeah. You know, I get a lot of people who pronounce it weird, but then you did well.
The reason why I pronounce the name again is because some have sort of created brand names that are maybe simpler to pronounce.
Clearly.
Right?
Clearly.
More easy to remember. Right?
Yeah.
But you've established your name as your brand.
Yes.
So let's talk about building personal brands. Where do we start from?
Understanding what it means, first off. Ideally, personal brand is just basically managing the meaning of you.
Okay.
So what does it mean to be you? What does it mean to be Titi? Right? And it comes from within. First off, understanding your core, understanding where you want to be in terms of vision, understanding who you are and who you are not.
Okay.
Right? And then structuring yourself well enough to define the meaning and perception of you. And it's advisable that you're very, very intentional about it, because whether you are intentional or not, there is a certain perception about you.
Okay. I want to jump a little further back to something you said, who you are and who you are not.
Yes.
I found that very key. So you're maybe an adult male of a certain age, maybe between the age of 25 to 45, right? That is one of the things you are. But who you are not is what? How do you define who you are not?
Clearly. It's as basic as one being accused of something they have not done.
Okay.
Or called who they're not. If you are called, something that obviously you're not, you stand, you're kind of defensive. So understanding your personal brand would help you even gravitate towards the right thing, the right culture, the right people, the right companies, right? And associate with the right, kind of brands. So knowing who you are not then lets you know who you shouldn't work with.
Okay.
Right. A clear example was something that recently happened with the NBA, and having an artist come on board.
Yes.
So the clear distinction.
So who the NBA is and who they are not.
Clearly, who they're not. So the clear distinction would actually, define and attract whoever, should be with them or associate with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this is not to say I have to jump back to the NBA issue again. This is not to
No.
say that,
Okay.
that the artist in question doesn't have a personal brand of his own.
Yes, he does. He does. And then he ought to have attracted the kind of brand, that would best fit, that kind of scenario. So most of the negative sentiment that we got was because there was a disruption or certain discrepancy between the personal brand and the brand in question.
All right. So now let's talk about the average person who probably is just hearing for the first time that, you have to build a brand identity. Where do they start from? What are the first key steps to building a personal brand?
Clearly, so I tend to use a framework called SoStack. It's basic with marketing, basically. And why I believe in SoStack is because I believe everything happens on a scale, right? From personal, and then it expands into global, right? So first off is understanding, is first having a situation analysis. Self-awareness is the first bit. What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses, right? What are my values? Where do I want to be, right, in the nearest future? So I say I want to be a marketing professional. Clearly, I want to be one of the biggest marketing professionals in the nearest future. What qualities do I currently have? What skills do I currently have, to position me? What do I need? Who are the current thought leaders in this space?
Okay.
Monitor your environment. What community can I be part of to evolve? So having done that, you then need to position yourself through thought leadership. And one way I do that is express my skill. Amplification and documentation are key aspects I tend to use.
Documentation?
Yes.
Meaning that everything you just said before needs to be written down.
First off.
Okay.
If it's so important, you would write it down.
So you write it down,
Yes.
you write it down, you write down your vision.
Yes.
You write down, what else are we
Your
writing?
skills, your values.
Your values.
You know, do I want to work with excellence or integrity?
Okay.
You know, and all of that. Write them down.
And then there's thought leaders in that space.
Yes.
So, in other words, competition.
In a way, they're not your primary competitors because, you know, you might need mentors, people that would coach you, you know, along the way. I tend to thrive around thought leadership by association. So those that are bigger, I tend to associate my brand with them because it's, you know, if you sit around billionaires, you're the next billionaire, you know. So
Amen to that.
right. So it's a conversation of using their brand resonance to also expose yourself to their community and more people, you know, and showcasing your skills to them as well.
So, you know, there was actually a part of our introduction that says for career success.
Really?
So you use the term career, you didn't say business.
Yes.
So before now, it could have been just business owners we were speaking to.
Definitely,
right now.
definitely.
But you're working for a company that already has their own brand identity. You're working for maybe a corporate entity that is in telecommunications.
Yes.
Or maybe in the medical field.
Yes.
But then you also have your own personal brand.
Yes.
How do you make sure that they don't clash?
Clash. Wonderful. First off, like I said, it's in understanding who you are and understanding who the company, you know, the identity of the company. One thing you want to do is clearly also understand the communication policy of that company, right? So you don't then go against their values. I would also recommend for young career professionals to be with companies that are aligned with who they are, right? And how they can contribute to that culture.
Well, that's where they
values.
saw a job now.
Right? So I tend to tell my mentees that when you have a very high personal brand equity, you go into a company as an asset.
Okay.
Right? Because the company can then utilize your brand resonance to, you know,
Boost themselves. Okay.
Because networking is key, you know, and that's one thing you need in whatever role you are. And leading with influence, you know, when you're very particular about your personal brand, you become a thought leader in your space. And every business needs that.
Okay, so, you know, a lot of people go into, when they are job hunting, they are going cap in hand. And when I say cap in hand, I mean they're like, well, any job, just employ me.
Yes.
But you're saying they need to start acting as assets to this company.
Yes.
It takes a while before you build that kind of confidence. But what are the steps that need to be completed in your personal branding before you can see yourself as an asset?
Great. So, like I said, I think for emphasis, we're going to repeat.
Okay.
Self-awareness, know who you are.
Okay.
Position yourself. Now we're in the digital space, so position yourself digitally. For a career person, yes, social media. Okay. And try to be consistent across board. Okay. Right? Be authentic. And for you to understand who you are, then you can be authentic. Try to grow a following as much as possible, even if it's one person. It doesn't have to be by the number, but be consistent across board, and definitely you will deliver.
I have to say, Mr. Itua, you have hit the nail on the head for quite a few people watching this morning.
Thank you
I
very
can't
much.
wait to see your comments and contributions. Use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC, and let's hear what you think about this direction of your personal branding journey. We can't wait to have you back sometime soon.
Always here. Thank you very much, Titi, for having me.
All right, you're welcome.
Yeah.
All right, then. There's still quite a bit coming your way. Stay close. This is Wake Up Nigeria.